I've got a quick new recipe for you. I mean, this is super duper easy. You can get it to the table in like 10 minutes, and I think everyone in your family will love it. Great to do on a date night. Also nice to do, you know, during the week for something different. And it's basically linguine in with clam sauce, but we're going to do a red clam sauce, keeping it a little bit light. No butter in this recipe for a change. And I know, holy cow, I know. So a sip of coffee, and I'm going to get to work. No cheese either, although a little cheese on top might be pretty good. Didn't think of that. All right. I'm going to drop my linguine. This is also really cheap to make, and I know we're all watching our pennies these days with the holidays. Ooh, things can get expensive. So 1 box of linguine that I'm going to drop into boiling water. Get that going. We have another big night out coming up. So if you want to have some fun in December, stick around because we're going to tell you all the details. This one is going to be really fun. It's kind of like a whole Feliz Navidad. We're doing a Mexican big night out, but we're not just talking tacos here. This is serious gourmet, and it's going to be just awesome. But we've got the details. I'm going to make you wait a few minutes before I give you the details on that. So linguine into my boiling water. I'm going to wait till it boils. We determined we're going to let it boil and then put the salt in. And that way, you know, if you don't season your pasta in water, it's never going to get seasoned. So, all right, Ann, we'll throw the salt in now just to satisfy you. Keep you quiet over there. Just kidding. Okay. Garlic. We are going to have lots of garlic. And you know what happens? If you and your date eat garlic, it cancels each other out. That's the way I feel about it anyway. So we've got about 4 cloves of garlic. And this is one of those, let's say you come home from work and you're like, what's for dinner? Shoot, I'm hungry. You know, I don't even feel like waiting for takeout pizza, which, by the way, can be really expensive. Last time I did takeout pizza, 2 pizzas, it was like $40. I thought, oh, this is crazy. So if you have a few different things on hand in your pantry, like canned tomatoes, canned clams, you are in business to make this sauce. So it's that quick and easy of a fix. Just wanted to let everybody know I'm going to be out and about signing my cookbooks this weekend. The holidays are upon us, and so I'm all over the place this weekend. So come out and visit me. Saturday, I start my morning in New Holstein, and then I head up to Menominee, Michigan, and then Marinette, and then Crivets late in the afternoon. Sunday, I'm at a bunch of different festival food stores. Sunday morning from 9:30 to 11, I'm in Oshkosh at the Festival Foods. Then I'm heading to Darboy in the afternoon from 12 to 1, and then Green Bay West from just 1:30 to 2:30, and then I'm headed home to watch the Packers game. So come on out and see me this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. You're going to be grocery shopping anyway, right? Okay, olive oil into a nice big skillet. A few tablespoons. This is really going to be the base of our sauce. And you know the rule when it comes to garlic, especially when I've got nothing in the pan like this. In goes that garlic. Now that pan's not real hot, so I'm not worried about it right this second. But once it starts to get hot, I'm going to really be moving it, and getting it going. All right, I've got a few cans to open here. One can, one of the big guys, of crushed tomatoes. This actually happens to have a little basil in it. So if it has basil, oregano, something like that in it, that's kind of nice. Adds some extra flavor, saves you a step. Canned tomatoes is something I always have in my pantry, or I try to. And when I run out, I buy more. Canned, diced, crushed, puree. There's just so many things you can do, you know, from a real quick marinara sauce to chili. And if you've got it on hand, it just makes things so much nicer. 1 can of clams. I'm just using the baby clams. This dish, I promise you, throw it together for under $10 and it's going to feed at least 4, may even have some leftovers. I remember when we had just had Riley, and you know, young couple starting out, we were just broke, and we needed to have the priest over. His baptism was coming up, so it was a new priest to the parish, and we wanted to have him over for dinner. And he only liked he you know, was a big seafood eater. Didn't eat, you know, meat and things like that. Well, we couldn't afford seafood, so it was like, oh, what am I going to make for the priest? The priest is coming to dinner. I was a nervous wreck anyway. Well, I did my linguine and clam sauce, and you know what? He absolutely loved it. So it was great, and he didn't know it only cost under $10 to make. Salad and bread, and you're in business. So this garlic is starting to get going now. starting to smell it, and I'm moving it around. I don't want to burn it. Then the whole recipe would be ruined, and I'd have to start all over. So we certainly don't want to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of the red pepper flakes that you put on pizza. Do you put those on your pizza?
No.
Oh my gosh, I can't have pizza without it. Are you kidding me, Ann? Oh, garlic salt on pizza. Oh, you're crazy. But anyway, love the red pepper flakes. Always have those on hand for my pizza or to spice up a dish. Now I've got some capers. These are really going to add a great flavor. And if you haven't cooked with capers, don't worry, you're not alone. They add kind of a light lemony, pickly flavor, and they're just delicious. A few tablespoons. Then this can go back in your fridge for the next recipe. This is great in homemade tartar sauce. It's just yummy. And it really is going to, perk up the sauce and brighten the flavors. My dad, true story, when I was a kid, I've always loved to cook. And I was cooking and grocery shopping. In go our tomatoes, by the way. That's why I've got an apron on, because this stuff can splash. I always get questions, why do you wear aprons? Because I ruined so many shirts. My dry cleaning bill was crazy high, so had to come up with something, and aprons it is, especially when you're cooking with tomato sauce. That can spatter all over the place. So anyway, my dad, one day I found a recipe with capers, and of course bought a couple jars of capers, and I swear my dad is like, it still has the capers in his cupboard. He's like, every time I see these darn capers, I think of you. And I think they're probably way expired, but it's like, we find all sorts of weird stuff in our pantry whenever you come to town, or even from when you were a teenager. So, all right, so in go our tomatoes. All my Christmas cards are out. Oh. I know, I'm so proud of myself. And I just wanted to get her done, you know what I mean? And I did, and oh, feels so good. I'll get the rest of that garlic in there. I guess I'm not done with that knife because I need to chop up some parsley. In go our clams, and I'm going to do the clams with the juice because that's great flavor. And then I'm going to do just some dry white wine. This is seafood, so we're going to keep it light. And you don't need to buy the expensive stuff. If you're going to be having wine with dinner, just use a splash of that. Or love to pick up, especially for cooking, just these little mini bottles of wine. They're like $1.50 or something. I know they have them right at Festival Foods. In the liquor department, you can buy a couple of them, have them on hand in your pantry, and they're wonderful when it comes to cooking and sauces. It just gives so much flavor. I get questions a lot. Why do you cook with wine? Because it adds great depth of flavor. I mean, it's something that the French chefs have been doing. Julia Child did it. Just adds great flavor without adding a lot of fat and calories, and it just takes the sauce to a whole new level. If you don't want to cook with wine, you don't have to, but most of the alcohol is going to cook right out of here anyway. All right, I'm going to add some salt and pepper, just a little bit, and we're just waiting for this guy to come to a simmer and cook down a little bit. This is, like I say, really light, but I love it because it's, it's pasta. So pasta always makes everything better. When Ireland is having a bad day, I'll cook her pasta. She's a pasta nut, just like her mother. And this pasta you don't have to feel too guilty about. I've got some flat leaf parsley that Ann put 2 miles away from me. You know me, got short arms. And whenever you're cooking with parsley, you want to cook with the flat leaf, or it's also called Italian parsley, that curly stuff, just meant to decorate a plate with. And it does look pretty next to meatloaf or pot roast or turkey or something like that. But really, if you're going to be putting parsley into a dish, you want to go for the flat leaf or Italian parsley. Thank you. Check my pasta. I don't want to overcook that, that's for sure. You want it nice and al dente. We're almost there. It's because it's going to go back into the sauce and cook just a little bit later, a little bit longer, I should say. Got Riley's senior pictures taken this week. We kind of put it off to the last minute. The guy asked my photographer, who's a friend of both of ours, and he's like, So is Riley a junior now? Because that's when most people get their senior pictures. I'm like, oh no, we're just waited to the last minute. But oh, what a moment that is. I can't believe I have a senior in high school. But just to watch him get the picture taken, and it was like, wow, wow, it's turning out to be a young man. And it turned out really good. I'll just show you. Turned out very nice. We did it indoor because I waited until this, almost December. But he's, it's a guy, I think for girl, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think for girl, the senior picture is way more of a big deal. For him, it was like, all right, Mom, let's just get it done. Okay, pasta's done for sure. A little underdone, which is how we like it. Nobody likes mushy pasta, right? So don't overcook the pasta. Just gonna give it a drain. Drain it really well. This is one of those, okay, I get a lot of questions about it. I've got really, really picky eaters. What do I do? I'm making 5 meals, and I get it. When my kids were little, I used to do that too. And then I got smart and thought, this is crazy. And now we all eat one thing. But now Ireland for sure would go for this linguine and clam sauce. Riley might be a little, he's my picky eater. But we're working on him. He's getting a lot better. So you know what? We've got the pasta anyway. Just toss the pasta with some olive oil and Parmesan cheese, and any kid would eat that. And then toss the rest of it with the sauce. So I kind of think that way. If I know my kids just aren't into, some things, they may be into, some of the other things that I'm cooking up. So, don't sauce things or think like that. So we'd save a little bit of this out for Riley or the little kids maybe. Or Anne, my big kid here. Or Greg, who doesn't do seafood. But Bob and I will be happy because we'll get our linguine and clam sauce. Okay, so I just want to coat this. And I promise you, it hasn't even been, it's been about 10 minutes and we're just about to the finish line. It's just that quick and easy. I'm going to need my little. This is optional, but just to brighten the dish, a little bit of fresh lemon juice is always nice. We've got seafood in here, and just a nice way to brighten up the flavors. And we're done. Quick, easy, nice and light. We're going to be eating a lot, from fudge to cookies and everything else this holiday season. So if you can do a light dinner every once in a while, it all helps. Been playing a lot of tennis, gearing up for this holiday season, especially after Thanksgiving. Everybody, my pants were a little tighter. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
This is nice if company's coming to just take it to the middle of the table in a nice big pasta dish. Serve this with a great big salad and some crusty bread, which I'm going to be making some killer cheesy garlic bread later. And noodle overboard. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, the chefs do this, and I have learned from them. Back in the kitchen, they have clean, wet towels, and before they take a plate out to serve it, just wipe around the edges. And we're going to garnish this with some fresh chopped parsley. And maybe you could do a few lemon slices too. So there we go. It's my linguine and clam sauce. It is delicious, quick, easy, nice and light, and a new recipe for everybody to try.